sure everything's good. And get that pulled up.
I'm gonna put some music on in the background for me.
I forgot to update the stream title. Look, I'm gonna fix that real quick.
But I realize I'm very particular. If my scripts were good enough to attract someone like Johnny Depp and Johnny Depp wanted to be in the lead role, unless I initially saw him in that lead role, he's gonna have a really hard time getting that lead role.
Mm-hmm. Why does it still have War Thunder? Need to fix that before I get yelled at by another random viewer, you know?
Alright, time to choose some music for me.
Where to go to edit? Am I done? Edit,
Alright.
edit, done. Okay, this has. I'm assuming I'm on 1% volume on your computer right now.
Yep. I just joined it.
I'm gonna check something real quick. Ignore this message. Okay. Ignore that message. Hello, both people that are totally not me. Oh, wow. We even got a VIP in our ranks. What a surprise. You would have the,
Yeah.
you would have mod if it was at the point where mod didn't count. Mod doesn't count as a viewer. Mods don't count as viewers. That's why you have VIP and not mod.
Well, that's fine though, because if I had a mod, I'd probably actually forget to actually moderate.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it was like something insanely racist.
You'd be like, what the fuck did they just say? I mean, what the, banana.
Well, see, the YouTube, it's the first 30 seconds. As long as you don't swear in the first 30 seconds, you're pretty good.
I think it was within the first 30 seconds.
Well, I can go figure out how to cut it out until we start reading.
Okay, so we are continuing to read Supreme Magus. What happened last time? Do you remember what happened last time? I know what
magic.
Yeah, he learned more about magic, the main character Lith. And then he started to learn how to hunt and butcher animals so that he wouldn't be hungry anymore.
Yep.
That's basically it, I'd say. We only read 5 chapters, so
yeah,
not too much happened.
He has like thermal vision.
Yeah, he can concentrate fire magic in his eyes, have like thermal vision, or he can just concentrate magic overall in his eyes to have like be able to see life force. Right?
Yeah, like the detect life spell in Skyrim, or I guess any Elder Scrolls game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't played that far into Oblivion, but I have like 200 some hours in Skyrim, maybe 300, 400.
And this episode, we're going to be probably going from chapter 11 to chapter 15. Unless my roommate enters my room sooner and forces me to stop because I don't want to read in front. Or that may be the co-host's job to read if that happens. I'm so sorry if that does happen.
Eh.
Maybe one day we'll get you a face cam if you want up in here. What's
Maybe. I don't know. You're supposed to be getting that microphone this weekend if my dad can find it.
mhm.
He bought it like 2 or 3 years ago, so
Yeah.
one of them impulse liquidation buys.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's on liquidation, anything's an impulse buy.
Mhm.
Discounts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I started
No,
the
sorry.
recording yet?
I thought
Yes, I have.
I
Okay.
thought of something. I thought of something really funny to say, but I thought about. I actually caught myself before saying it because that could probably get you canceled.
Mhm.
You want me to send it to you in Discord real quick?
Sure.
All right. Think about it.
No.
Okay,
No.
no, but think about it.
I don't want to think about
He's a
it.
money.
I don't want to think about it. I don't. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Just no. Just no. Okay, we need to get started.
Hey,
We need
Ed.
to start reading because that's
Yeah,
what we're here for. Okay.
yeah.
Unless anyone wants to say anything they've read up to this chapter. I don't think anyone's saying anything, so it's a good time to start.
I think it's only us.
No, there's 5 viewers in here. There's plenty
Oh,
of
there's
people
another
in here.
viewer.
There's plenty of people
Oh
in here.
yeah, yeah, there is.
Are you able to hear yourself if you turn your volume up? Can y'all hear the other person that's not me? Please. Please answer.
I mean, I should be able to.
I want to make sure I don't have you muted to the stream.
Well, yeah, no, I can. I'm putting it back down to 1%.
Okay. Okay, chapter 11, Encounters. During the following days, Lith made several discoveries about the changes he had undergone. Oh, okay, that's another thing that happened. He was outside, and he puked up some black tar-like substance that stunk, and his body went through like a transformation of some sort. Right? That happened right at the end.
Good sludgy change.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. During the following days, Lith made several discoveries about the changes he had undergone. His body felt lighter than ever, and all of his physical abilities were enhanced. Even his 5 senses have become sharper. Hey, Disappointment. How are you? Do I need to do a recap for you, Disappointment? I'm sorry, this is the person I know. I've got to ask them if they need a quick run through of everything that's happened.
No.
Have you read it? Do I need to do a recap for you?
Nope.
I'm gonna just keep reading till you reply, or even his 5 senses had become sharper. Okay, good. There had also been cosmetic changes in his appearance. Why is it right there? The moles on his body had visibly shrunk. His skin was smoother than a spa treatment after a spa treatment back on Earth. and most of the freckles around his nose and eyes had disappeared. Lith took note of all the changes, trying to understand what had happened, but he couldn't care less about the beautifying effect. Even without any moles or freckles, he would still look like a crude hillbilly. Now the
Like
self-deprecation.
us. Like us.
Oh. If his mother had passed anything down to him, he wasn't able to see it. Unlike his sister, Lith had none of her beauty or grace. Helena moved like a ballerina, while he was rough and clumsy enough to feel like a caveman. Lith had deep-set eyes like his father, a high forehead, and a nose a little too big to fit his looks. He wasn't ugly, but not even a little bit cute. Wow. The best he could give himself was a solid 6 out of 10.
Okay, so that's like any guy. That's anyone. That's anyone.
Lith's only hope for improvement was the teenage growth spurt would get rid of his thin and scrawny build. Figuring out the changes in his mana core required even more time. Lith found out that his mana had undergone a qualitative change before becoming pure and denser. It allowed him to cast stronger spells and reduce the time he needed to manipulate elemental and spirit magic. It made it possible for him to achieve a faster casting speed. Through invigoration, he could now spot the presence of a tar-like material scattered throughout his body. He found it in his organs, his blood vessels, and even in his neural pathways. Yeah. Neural pathways. Yeah.
English.
Whenever he used the accumulation technique, he could feel a smaller tar-like particle being pulled towards the monocore, whereas the bigger ones would fragment over time and shrink in size before actually moving. Confident in his new strength, Lith started going deeper into the woods, hunting for a bigger prey. He was no longer afraid of predators. Instead of avoiding them, he started looking for them. Lith wanted his family to have enough fur to make a set of warm clothes for everyone. He was sick of being forced to wear so many layers of clothes during winter that he was unable to walk properly. Every time he went out of his house, he was forced to waddle along like a penguin. The problem was that Lith still moved through the forest making a lot of noise, exuding enough killing intent to scare away anything that was stupid or desperate enough to stand in his way. It was only thanks to It was only thanks to the life vision spell combined with spirit magic that he was still able to hunt. His range with spirit magic had expanded over 30 meters, so he could easily kill any animal that tried to escape by climbing a tree or taking flight. When Lith wasn't able to catch anything, he would snag any bird that made the mistake of flying within his reach. One day, Lith was exploring a new area of the Tron woods, hoping to find a fur-wearing meal. A fur-wearing meal. I don't know why I said metal. I'm so sorry. A fur-wearing meal
English.
and kill two birds with one stone. While looking at a small mound, his life vision spotted three life forces hiding a few meters underground. They were not strong enough to be predators, but they were big enough to be a perfect. If those are rodents, Oh, wait. If those are rodents or other small animals, there could be more than one exit. I have no time to waste. I'll force them out. After getting on the highest spot of the mound, he used earth magic while always keeping both eyes on the prize. Magna. Magna! The ground around him started to shake, making the burrow and the small tunnels collapse. The creatures started to panic and took the most direct route to escape from their burrow. Lith ran, following their movements from above, and remaining as close so they would not escape the range of spirit magic. Three big fat rabbits came out of the well-hidden hole near a bush. A well-hidden hole. Two of them were still wearing snow-white fur. Lucky! Lith screamed while snapping his fingers, snapping the rabbit's neck with a 180 twist. I'll keep the brown-furred one for myself, and trade the other two pelts with Celia for a greater amount of low-quality furs. Today is my lucky day. Lith was so used to being alone in the woods that he would always think out loud to break his feeling of isolation. He hung the rabbits on his belt by the ears and walked toward Celia's house. After a few steps, Lith heard an odd sound closing in. He had never heard it before, so he started looking around for its source. Soon he could see two horses in the distance, galloping in his direction. It seems I've been too loud. Fight or flight? To answer his own question, he activated light vision again. The horses were just horses, while the men were far from impressive. The one taking point was barely as strong as Celia, and the one behind him was even weaker than Raz, Lith's father. Lith forced himself to hide a cruel smile. Well, well, my first encounter with complete strangers in this new world. Are they good people? I bet they're human. I bet that humans are humans everywhere. This would mean that they are buttholes. I
This would
can't.
mean they're big, big losers.
I can't wait to find out. Lith stood there waiting for them
No.
to arrive.
You could get one of those voice things that like automatically bleeps you out.
No. Disappointment. In case you're wondering why we aren't saying this word, because it's going on YouTube, basically no editing. So yeah. The first man was clearly a servant. He was dressed in a hunter suit made of leather of low quality, with a crest on both his chest and shoulders. He was an unshaven, middle-aged man with pitch black short hair. In case you wonder why I keep looking down, it's because I have the chat up, just so you don't think I'm just like not paying attention. He was an unshaven, middle-aged man with pitch black short hair, mean and angry eyes sitting on a face that only a mother could love. Wow. Oh, wow. The other one was dressed in a suit of much better quality, probably brand new. He wore the same crest on his chest, but it seemed to be made of silk and gold embroidered. He was a kid, maybe 16 years old, with a handsome face and the build of a swimsuit model. The tight-fitting leather emphasized his muscular body moving in tone with his horse. Lith felt really pissed off, and he knew exactly why. I really hope he is as much of a jerk as he is handsome. Otherwise, not only will I be forced to start believing in Prince Charles, but I will also die in envy, he thought. Hey, kid, the servant had a rude tone of voice. What was that noise from before? Lith put on his best innocent expression, playing wolf in sheep's clothing. Good day, sir. It was just me hunting. Sorry if I scared you. Lith's voice sounded genuinely apologetic. He wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. Where did you get those? He said, ignoring Lith's apologies and pointing at the rabbit. From a rabbit hole. They are my game. Lith smiled, keeping watch on both of them. Give them to us now. They will make a perfect muff for my mother. The handsome youth. Oh, wait. Give them to me. Give them to us now. They will make a perfect muff for my mother. The
So
hands.
we just got a freaking Draco Malfoy here.
Yeah. The handsome youth said in a beautiful voice. Yeah. Who also you also had a beautiful voice. Whatever. If you are really sorry, you should offer us proper compensation. Even a commoner like you should know the basics of decency, he said with a mocking smile. Lith dropped the act like a grenade. Seriously? Robbing a kid in broad daylight? Do you have any shame? Don't you have any shame? Kid, the servant rebuked. Do you know who you are talking to? He is the son of Baron Wrath, lord of these lands. Lith laughed out loud. Please, the Tronwoods has no owner, except maybe Count Lark. Stop spewing nonsense, just to cover your sorry tales. And besides, you don't know who you are talking to. I am a Supreme Mage.
That's cringe. So cringe.
At least they didn't say the name of the big thing in it.
Yeah. One of those moments that has you pointing at the screen. They said the thing.
They said the thing. They said the name, but they
Le-
didn't. They said half the
Leonardo
thing.
DiCaprio pointing
They
at
said
the
half the name.
TV.
Okay. See what happens when you waste your breath with a commoner on Commoner's Court? The young noble took out a short bow he carried on his back, notching an arrow. They're just too stupid. It's in their nature. He shot an arrow with perfect aim towards Lith's heart. However, Lith had kept many spells at the ready on his fingertips, and also had plenty of distance. With the wave of his hand, a strong gust of wind hit the arrow on the side, making it spin out of control before harmlessly hitting the ground, meters away from its intended target. Despite being flabbergasted, the young noble was able to keep his cool, knocking another arrow while ordering Korth to kill the kid. Lith raised his left hand, freezing Korth in place with spirit magic, while with his right, he took control of the arrow. It slipped away from the youth's finger and stabbed him in the eye.
You know what? He deserves that. He was trying to kill a kid first, so.
Yeah. The youth fell from his horse, screaming in pain. To think I even bothered giving you guys a chance to get out of here alive. Wait. If you kill the young lord, you and whoever you love will die. Think about it, Korth said.
No witnesses. No freaking witnesses.
Lith laughed again. Really? And how would they ever find out what happened here? Lith moved his left thumb, and Korth noticed with horror that his right hand was moving against his will, unsheathing the hunting knife he carried on his belt. Wait, please, have mercy. Don't do this. You're just a kid, he begged. So when you want to kill, you kill. But when you lose, I'm supposed to show mercy? The spite in his voice was palpable. Lith lowered his ring finger, bringing the knife at Korth's throat. That's Lith. Since you're just a servant, I'll give you a clean death. With a flick of his finger, Lith forced Korth to cut his own throat from ear to ear, like almost like Joker smile style, except the throat.
Yeah, except the throat. Oh, so now you can just like kind of bend his head back and forth like a cruel puppet.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing that motion again. Nope. Then he approached the young noble, that was still writhing in pain, uncaring of what had just happened to his loyal servant. As for you, you're the kind of guy I hate the most. With one hand, Lith kept him frozen in midair, while he used the other to punch him nonstop. Life gave you money, everything, money, beauty, and a bright future. And all you can do with such treasures is screw with those who are really struggling to survive.
They're already struggling to survive.
I'm sorry, I got really into the voice.
English.
Lith hated humans more than anything. Even back on Earth, the only thing keeping his rage in check was his responsibility towards his family. In the new world, there were no cameras, GPS, nothing. There was only power, and for once, he was the one wielding it. You know, I have a very ill sister, Lith said after venting his rage. I could never practice darkness magic on living beings, because using it on animals is just plain cruel. You, on the other hand, you are just a monster with the face of a man. You will make a perfect specimen for my research.
Little psychopath. I mean, Derek's he's always been a psychopath. He's always been a little psychopath.
Mm-hmm. The Tron woods resounded with screams for hours before death could come and claim her prize. Check on everything around it. Anyone have any comments on what we just read? Disappointment. We do a small discussion at the end of each chapter, or we try to.
Anything you want to tell the class?
I'm actually the class pet. You can ask him. Right, disappointment? I'm the class pet. You forgot to feed me again. That seems fair, not gonna lie, he deserved it. I need to put chat up in so people don't
The stream.
Yeah, so whenever I'm doing the reading. See, look, I'm the class pet. You know,
You wonder.
disappointment. That's who I'm
You
probably
wonder
gonna
if
raid when I'm finished.
Wonder if Lith is ever gonna get to the point where he just like if he hates people so much, you wonder if he's gonna get to the point where he consumes people.
Just like eats them or like absorbs their power or something.
Oh, you know what I mean when I say consume. Munchin'.
Okay. Next chapter, unless you have anything else to contribute at this point. We just do a small discussion at the end of each chapter. I hope it doesn't bore you. Okay. As Lith was approaching Celia's house, he felt a deep sense of shame torturing him. It's such a shame to waste. It's such a shame to waste so much good equipment and horse meat, but I have no plausible excuse for it. Our farm could really use a couple of horses, but what if someone recognized them? Too much risk for too little reward. Destroying everything was the right thing to do. Once he had finished with his experiments, Lith used darkness magic to erase any proof of what he had done and turned everything into dust. Celia was so excited to get her hands on two snow white rabbits that she let slip her dire need for the pellet to fill the order of a very generous client. Respecting his master's teaching, Lith exploited the situation. Hunters don't do favors, they cut deals, he quoted. In exchange for the snow white rabbits, Lith managed to get a full set of worm clothes of lower quality, and Celia would personally tan the remaining pelt for free. That and the three rabbits, ready for the cooking, earned him great praise from his family, except Orpal. Over time, he had started taking for granted all the food that Lith brought home. Wait. Over time, he started taking for granted all the food that Lith brought home for granted. Over
So his
time,
hatred.
he started to take for granted all the food that Lith brought home for granted. That grammar ain't correct, right?
Actually, no. It's so over time. Need a comma. He had started taking for granted all the food that Lith brought home for granted. Oh, what? What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And then also that's not a comma. That's a period right there. Oh, this must be a late night chapter. Late night writing.
We're not making fun of it. We're just like noticing it. That's why I read it like 3 times because it was like, what? This grammar ain't grammaring. Yes, this grammar
I
ain't
can relate.
grammaring.
That's a late night. That is a late night writing right there.
Do
Or they have been up for 20 hours.
Do you have the chat up in case? Do you have the chat up too?
Well, I have to keep switching between Discord because it gets too tiny if I keep Discord in a tiny little tab.
Yeah. Okay.
This grammar ain't gramming.
Grammar. Yep. This grammar ain't gramming. So his hatred and envy had returned stronger than ever. Okay. Orpal voice. How did Orpal sound yesterday? That little leech. Hunting with magic is so easy. Any idiot could do it. Everything he does is a slap in my face, and I never get the respect that I deserve as the firstborn. And it's all his fault. First, he flaunts his luck at hunting. Then he plays
Martyr.
Martyr by asking mother and father to give the first set of fur clothes to that piece of trash, Tista. What could pit?
This guy's a little crap, man.
I can't English. What could Tista possibly do with them? Get ill with style? No, Lith did it on purpose. He knows that my stupid parents, still resenting me for telling the truth about that cripple. Lith only did it to make me lose face compared to him.
Well, actually, maybe you're just a terrible person and everybody's recognizing that.
The truth was quite different from Orpal's self-centered interpretation. Lith really loved his mother, Alina, big sister, Rena, and little sister, and ill sister, not little, ill sister, Tista. However, Orpal was never on his mind. He healed anyone in the family without being asked to, except Orpal. Lith didn't do it out of spite or anger, but simply because Orpal's existence was irrelevant in his eyes. Lith didn't care less if Orpal lived or died. He wouldn't do anything to harm, but wouldn't help him either. I just lost. As far as Lith was concerned, they were complete strangers living in the same house. Lith wanted Tista to be the first to benefit from his luck, in hopes that the warm clothes would allow her to spend more time with him and Rena during the winter. More time with him and Rena during the winter, and maybe even get to play in the snow. In Lith's eyes, the image of Carl would often overlap with Tista's face. I'm sorry, sometimes I just can't English disappointment. He loved them deeply, and they were both victims of a cruel fate. Lith wasn't willing to let anyone or anything, not even a congenital condition, take his loved ones away from him.
He suffered.
No, I was looking at the message. He suffered at the thought of how little of life she could enjoy. At the thought of how little of life she could enjoy. To give Tista the opportunity to experience speed and the feeling of wind on her face. Lith built for her a swing. Built for a swing. Lith built for a swing her. With the help of their father. Lith built a swing for her with the help of their father, Raz. I'm just gonna auto grammar correct.
Alright.
It was nothing special. Just a wooden plank attached to 4 tight ropes hanging from a reversed U-shaped wooden framework with triangle standings. That's a mouthful. A reverse U-shaped wooden framework with the triangle standings. Yet the result was awe-inspiring for Sam. Swings seemed to be unknown in the New World, or at least they were in the Lustria County. Raz looked at the result of their work in admiration. It's amazing. Oh wait, it's amazing. Why the 3 wooden beams instead of just one? Safety reasons, Lith explained while using earth magic to make the last 10 centimeters of beams sink underground, making it impossible for the swing to topple by bad weather or extra vigorous movement. I don't know who's saying this.
That's Lith.
That way both ends are like a chair. Multiple legs mean that the weight can be spread equally, distributing them
Equally distributed among them.
equally distributed among them, significantly reducing the stress on each beam. Of course, now that you
Then Raz,
explain it, it's so simple. By the way, what do we call this thing? Lith was at a loss for
Lith was
words.
at a.
Oh.
That's my
Lith?
mind. That's my mind. That's my mind seeing words and it's like, oh, you should start speaking that right now. It's like, no.
I mean, if you want to read a bit, you can.
Oh, go ahead.
Now you got it. You got it.
All right. All right. Lith was at a loss for words. He had no idea what the word swinging movement was for the swinging movement was, and he couldn't ask that now. It's a rocking chair. Dang it! Why do I screw up the little details? That's not a rocking chair. It's the closest thing I could think of with my current vocabulary. Tista fell in love with his present, and the rocking chair soon became a popular pastime for the family. It got to the point that Raz had to build a couple more to avoid constant quarreling. Also, after his experiments with dark magic, Litz spent the following months trying to apply both life vision and invigoration while treating Tista's symptoms. If I can, if I can manage to achieve the same imaging quality for Tista's body that invigoration grants me for my own body, I can better understand the underlying cause of her condition. That would mean having a much better chance of finding a cure, he thought. In the blink of an eye, it was almost winter again. Litz's 5th birthday was approaching. Litz was determined to capitalize on every single day before the great cold arrived to catch as much game as he could to fill the house's storeroom to the brim. He had no idea how cold the incoming winter would be, and even if he was probably strong enough to survive a storm, he doubted that his parents would allow him to test his theory. Test that theory. They wouldn't let him become Benjamin Franklin. During the last year, Lith had explored more and more of the Tron woods, learning how to move without alarming the animals. He had also discovered new uses for darkness magic.
Okay, I got it.
There you go.
His newest spell, Shroud, allowed him to hide his body, smell, and aura by enveloping Lith in a thin layer of dark energy, making it impossible for most animals to notice him, either by smell, either by nose or instinct. But it wasn't an easy task. Even a small misstep would turn Shroud into a full-blown killing attempt, making the whole woods aware of his presence. I almost just combined aware and presence. A pair.
Pereira's, yeah.
Mhm.
One of those weird words.
In certain areas of the wood, Lith could hear an annoying buzzing sound, and until that day he had always ignored. At first, Lith had thought that it was the call of some weird, unknown animal. During the last few days, the noise had gotten stronger. Damn it, what is this? It reminds me of my desktop's uninterruptible power supply unit whenever there was a blackout. It's ear-piercing, he thought. Liz could not help but to imagine it as a desperate cry for help. He didn't understand how it had got there, how he got that idea, but his gut was telling him that it was something important. Ever since Lith had learned martial arts back on Earth, he always followed his gut feeling. When he had nothing to lose, this was definitely the case. The closer he got, the louder the noise became. Lith knew he was on the right path. He was running at full speed when he heard a bone-chilling howl. Lith immediately used his two life-saving spells, Shroud and the air spell light. The air spell, light feet. There should be a comma there. The air spell, light feet, to float a few centimeters above the ground, making his movement noiseless. Both required a lot of concentration, but it was better to spend some mana rather than stupidly endangering himself. He remained calm and focused while he searched for the source of that noise. Holy cow, that's a rye, Lith thought, after quickly hiding behind a huge tree. I said huge. A huge tree. A rye was a magical wolf beast, the apex predator of the Tron woods. Magical beasts were more common and weaker than monsters. They could still easily take apart a fully armed soldier. Not many animals could turn into magical beasts. They needed to have a great talent for magic, and even time to feed off, and enough time to feed off the world. Once an animal became a magical beast, it could use its mana to boost its physical prowess and even develop spells that employed elements that they were attuned with. I feel like the start of this series is just going to be a lot of explaining.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I tried writing a book, and it's like, well, I haven't gotten back to it in a while because it's like, what if I just like wait till later in life and it becomes my magnum opus, and I turn it into a show, and I get to have it and I get to have it directed by Guillermo del Toro.
Mm-hmm.
I like Guillermo del Toro. I like Guillermo del Toro.
The rye was almost as big as a horse, with thick fire color. Lith couldn't understand why a rye would be coming so close to a human settling. Ryes were intelligent beasts that avoided unnecessary trouble. If humans avoided disturbing them, they would return the favor. Lith felt pity for its prey, almost after making sure he was downwind from the rye. He canceled both spells. Both spells. Spells to save precious mana, while he got a better understanding of the situation. The rye kept howling and growling as if it was in pain. Lith noticed that every time the rye's snout got close to the ground, the buzzing sound would become high-pitched, and the magical wolf would whine in pain. Now more curious than afraid. Lith activated life vision to estimate the rye's power. What he saw made him gasp loudly. The rye was unbelievably strong, with the mana flow almost on par to Lith. But the real reason for amazement was the second one, that belonged to the source of the buzzing. It was a little stone, smaller than a thimble. What's a thimble? Is that the thing that goes on your thumb?
Yeah, like the fake fingertips.
Okay. What the heck? That pebble is alive? That explains everything. The noise it's emitting must have been here to lure the rye. Must have been here. The rye must have lured the rye here, just like it did for me. Taking into account its reaction, the noise is much more annoying for the rye than me. I've never heard of rocks with mana flows. That thing must be a magical island. I can't let that brute destroy it. Lith thought. Throwing caution to the wind, Lith decided to take action and save the magic. My life force is inferior to the rise, but if I can avoid letting it get close, I can win. His mana flow is inferior to mine, and from what Celia told me, magical beasts have no offensive spell. First, Lith activated Shroud again, and then he started weaving his strongest spell. Plague Arrow! A bolt of dark arrow energy flew from his joined hand, hitting the rye in his blind spot, while he was trying to crack the noisy stone with his teeth again. The screeching sound and the spell both hit it at the same time, making the magical beast almost lose its footing. Plague Arrow was a spell that injected a dense mass of darkness magic in its victim, disrupting both their mana flow and their life force. Lith had charged it as much as he could, hoping to send the beast running, or on the run. Before the rye could turn around to search for its enemy, a stream of lightning bolts erupted from Lith's palms, hitting the magical beast with enough strength to knock it down. While increasing the distance between them, Lith canceled Shroud for life vision. Despite the sneak attacks, the rye was still alive and strong. Lith focused his spare magic using both hands to break its neck from a distance, as he had done countless times. The rye wasn't stupid. As soon as it felt the ominous sensation on his neck, it contracted its muscles, reinforcing with mana, making it harder than steel. Damn, so much for my advantage. If only I could use fire magic. You would be already roasted to death. Can you please go away? That thing's mine, Lith thought. I don't know why I said Lith thought so forcefully.
He thought about it!
He thought. He conjured several ice javelins, throwing them at the magical beast from multiple angles. The rye easily dodged them all, and retaliated with a powerful magical roar. Lith was only saved by the distance. It gave him time to realize that One sec.
That's fine. I'll do so.
Y'all give me one moment. Do you want to read for a minute?
Yeah, give me a minute. Yeah, sorry. I had it was like a pasta meat thing earlier. It wasn't lasagna. It was like their rigatoni noodles.
You're good.
Alright. The rye easily dodged them all and retaliated with a powerful magical roar. Lith was only saved by the distance. It gave him time to realize that a massive wind blast was heading his way. He stepped back at the moment of impact, using his own wind magic to dissipate the blast. His sleeves got turned into confetti, but besides some flesh wounds, he was fine. He said, "'Tis but a flesh wound." His sleeve... Screw me sideways. Thanks a lot, Celia. Screw me sideways. Thanks a lot, Celia. Magical beasts do not have offensive spells. Sure. It seems this rye never got the memo. The rye charged at Lith, using its wind blast to disrupt his rhythm. Lith did his best to keep the beast at bay, but the difference in physical prowess was overwhelming. It was only a matter of time before the rye would hit him. Okay, if you can't win, just run. Even if that fails plan C, fight dirty, he thought. Lith stopped running away to try a last attack before throwing the towel. He conjured many ice javelins, but did not throw them. He left them floating midair all around him. After a moment of hesitation, the rye chose to ignore them and charged straight at that insolent pest. That's a good boy. Eat this! Twin spell! Flash and bang! Lith's right hand produced a massive flash of light for a moment. It was like a second sun had appeared. His left hand instead used wind magic to produce a noise comparable to an explosion. The rye tumbled from pain, its eyes and ears bleeding, while Lith was unscathed. He had learned long ago that as long as they were infused with his mana, His own spells would do him no harm.
He could cover himself with fire, ice, or lightning without getting a single scratch. When the rye crashed into a tree, Lith finally used the javelins, throwing them with all the force he had. All of them hit the target, but the thick magical fur prevented them from impaling the beast, piercing only a few centimeters of flesh. Lith immediately checked on his enemy with right life vision. The results appalling. The rye was definitely wounded and weakened, but far from being dead. Damn it! So much effort for so little damage. If it continues like this, I am the only one who is most likely to run out of steam. Or luck. The rye only needs one hit to kill me, and it's not worth the risk. Lith used spirit magic to recover the magic stone. Just yoink and run. To recover the magic stone before running for his life. The stone was full of teeth marks. Its sharp surface prickled with skin. So long, sucker! Lith screamed at the still stunned magical beast. Still, see you again in a few years. See if you dare attack me then, or to attack me again. Small drops of blood touched the stone. The noise stopped. The rye was trying to make it heads or tails of what just happened. It only wanted that damn noise to stop hurting its ears when that fierce man pup showed up. The rye had scared to scare him away and teach him a lesson, but it was the one getting scolded instead. I'm just gonna imagine
poor
this.
puppy.
I'm just gonna imagine this is like some really old pup.
Like a dire wolf.
Who cares? The humbug. The rye thought.
Or like maybe it's like maybe it's like a werewolf.
I wanted to get rid of that stupid rock anyway. And one way or another, I got the job done. That was one feisty pup, though. I pray that he shows more consideration towards his pack than he did for me. Otherwise, once he grows up, he will be the scourge of his kin. Stupid humans. And their greed bring only troubles. They're incapable of even taking care of their own. The rye leader of all packs in the Toronto woods, shrugged away the javelins before returning to his family. No, he's a magical beast. He's just really smart.
Oh. So like a werewolf, except he doesn't turn into a person. He's just like a talking dog.
Well, we don't know if he talks. We don't know if he talks. He was thinking
so
that.
just really intelligent. Okay, yeah, so just like really intelligent. If Scooby-Doo couldn't talk.
Disappointment. You have any input on this chapter? Is that Scooby-Doo just can't talk? Just think.
Or maybe closer to Brian Griffin, I don't know.
One or the other?
A very smart dire wolf. I'm gonna restart my song. I like this song. I like Mary Jane's Last Dance. I love Tom Petty. America's Dream Boat. Gone in 2016.
I like the smart, sassy dog. I like the smart, sassy dog. It may have been sass. I don't know if it sounded more sassy because of the voice I gave it. I don't know. But it was sassy. I was just trying to teach that little pup a lesson. That man pup a lesson. Kill it. But then I got schooled. Oh God. Oh. Disappointment. I hope you know we're doing this almost every night, so you ever want to come by again. Or do you want me to just shoot you a message every time we do this? We're not done. I'm just asking.
Yeah, your YouTube could just be like full like Twitch VODs.
That's what I think my YouTube is. Gonna
Just
end up
Twitch,
being.
just Twitch VODs.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's like quite a few YouTubers that do that, and they get pretty good stuff like Bionic Pig. He just like sometimes panders to YouTube.
See,
Just like
here's the
sometimes hogs his
YouTube.
channel.
If you want to drop a sub there, your choice. If you feel like it. Misfits playing Overwatch. Okay. I guess it's time to start the next chapter.
Yeah.
Okay. Lith kept running until he was out of the woods. He turned his head from time to time, using life vision to check if he was being followed. To check if he was being followed. There's no trace of the rye. Better to be safe than sorry. I'm afraid I have pissed off that thing quite badly. It's better to give it some time to vent and search for easier prey. He was near Celia's house when he finally remembered the magical stone in his hand. Lith activated life vision, getting a good look up close. First thing he noticed was the rough edges on the stone had smoothed out. It did not prick his skin anymore. The surface was still rough, but now it looked like stone marble. The buzzing sound has stopped for a while, and the magic stone's life force, despite still being at the same level, had changed significantly. Back when he saw it for the first time, its life force was like a candle about to burn out, whereas now it had become steady. Warning Celia about the magical beast took priority, so he hid the stone in the leather pouch he always carried around his neck before knocking on her door. Lith explained everything to her. He described in detail the size and the power of the rye, leaving her flabbergasted. Of course, he never mentioned the fight. Lith told her that he fled as soon as their eyes met, and that he had only gotten away thanks to his magic. He showed her his tattered sleeves as proof.
Good gods, kid!
She still refused to call him by his name.
You are really lucky it took it easy on you. Had the ride decided to give chase, he would not be having this conversation.
We.
We would not be having this conversation. Nonetheless, thanks for warning me first, instead of going straight to your parents.
How did you know I came here first? Or, how did you know I came?
Because if you
Yeah.
did, okay.
You're good.
Because if you didn't, your parents would have probably locked you up in your house, and one of them would have come here to warn me in your place.
Lith froze up. He had just dodged a bullet much scarier than any rye. You're right. I better not tell them, otherwise my hunting days may be over forever.
Yeah. I suggest you take the morning off, make up an excuse for those sleeves, and go home.
Celia walked over to the shed near her house, where she kept her game churn. Take these.
Take these.
Oh.
That's her. Take these as a thank you for the heads up.
She handed him a rabbit and a blinker, ready to be cooked.
I was about to go into the woods. I think I'll follow my own advice instead and continue tanning the remaining pelts. I'll go hunting in the afternoon when it should be safer.
Lith thanked her
I
with
can
a
hear
deep
your
bow.
music over my music.
What?
I can hear your music alongside my music, and it's not.
Oh, you can? Can the stream hear it? Can you hear my
Yeah.
music? I don't know why you can hear it, but you couldn't hear it earlier. I'm so sorry. I've got to fix this real quick. Why is it doing that?
Unless I can hear it through your phone, through your Discord.
Yes, so much just
Oh, hold on, wait.
in my head.
Oh, that is so weird because I have your stream on 1%, but I can hear your music.
Well, the stream
Oh no,
can't
wait, it's
hear.
because your stream. It's because you're sharing your it's because you're sharing your screen. That's why.
Share
That's why I
audio
can hear
turned off. There you go. So I was you hear me jamming though.
it.
Okay, you
Yeah.
can't hear it. Good, because I think I'd get like copyrighted or whatever it's called. You know,
Yeah.
and we don't, or whatever the Twitch
Yeah.
equivalent is. I'm so sorry. I would totally jam with y'all while reading, but I can't without getting in trouble.
I mean, we could always just record our own versions of it and layer that over the stream because that's fair use. All right.
Lith thanked her with a deep bow. He knew how precious meat was in Luton. I heard a notification. Time to check. Oh, thank you for the follow. Disappointment. I'll try. Are you going to Smol's stream later? You don't know who I'm talking about, but
No, I don't.
okay. Well, I might see you there. Because she should be streaming today, I think. Okay. Now we need to get back.
Yep.
Not to mention that she just saved him from perpetual house arrest. See you, disappointment. Thanks for the follow and thanks for coming out. He spent the rest of the morning trying to understand how to use the magic stone. It appeared to be feeding off Lith's mana, not leeching it like a parasite, but more like nibbling at the mana that he naturally released. The stone would simply breathe in what Lith's body breathed out, nothing more. Lith tried injecting mana into it, but to no avail. Then he cast elemental spells while holding the stone to check if their strength, cast speed, or the area effect were affected in any way. All of his experience gave no result. The stone looked just like any other. Stones do not have such a clear mana flow, and certainly do not have any life force. Maybe this thing just needs time to heal, to recharge, or something. The rhyme messed it up quite badly. Let's hope it's not broken. Unless it starts harming me, I'll keep it. Maybe it's some kind of treasure, or something. I can find something out about it in one of Nana's books. I just have to be patient. The last few days of autumn passed by uneventfully until winter arrived. Having reached 5 years old, Lith revealed a little bit more of his magical talents, proving to be invaluable for his family. He would wake up first and warm up the whole house. I just lost where I was. Am I stupid? Even the floors.
At that
point, the fireplace was lit, only because it was cozy. Because grouping around the fire, especially during stormy winter evenings, was a family tradition. Even the cooking was entrusted to Lith. They're just really using him. That sounds like they're straight up just using him.
Yeah, but hey, if it upsets Orpal, it's good work. Screw Orpal. He little spoiled brat.
Cheers to the back, cheers to the nothing for. He could not go hunting anymore because of the bad weather. His parents had been adamant about this. Litz could still go to Celia's house to perform chores for her. During the last year, she had become so lazy that she had become dependent on Lith for keeping her house clean and her tools sterilized. I mean, when he can do it with the wave of his hand, wouldn't you?
You know?
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, if I could just walk in, wave my hand, room was clean, walk out. Would you want to clean it? How would that make you feel? You'd be like, I don't want to do this. This just feels like a waste of time. When he can just do it in 2 seconds.
Yeah. I'll just give him extra pelts.
Yeah. Is she even paying him for it, though? I thought she was just saying, I'll teach you if you do it.
Well, I think it's just like her. I think he's just like her apprentice, pretty much.
How much? Yeah. Okay. This was a way for Lith to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now he had an excuse to go fetch his private stock of meat whenever he got hungry. And Celia had to pay him for the chores. Lith would do it for free, just to get out of the house. But his parents would not agree, so Celia paid him a few copper coins to clean her house, and some more for Elena to do her some more for Elena. Alina. Why do I say Elena? There's no A in front of the N. Alina to do her laundry. Both Alina and Raz would welcome any extra income. And doing laundry for 8 instead of 7 wasn't much effort. Especially since Lith provided her with an endless supply of hot water. Nice to meet you. I'm Lith, Boiler Supreme. He would inwardly grumble every time. In the first weeks of winter, Lith made a very important break. He finally understood how to use invigoration's body imaging on others. He was now able to let his mana seep into another person's body and slowly take control of their mana flow. It sounds like he's just trying to kill him. Honestly.
Yeah.
Let me just take control of your mana flow. That can't be good. You know, having some external force control your mana.
He's a leech. But I guess it'd be like, use an X-ray with radiation.
Yeah. He was now able to let his mana seep into another person's body, slowly taking control of their mana flow. It allowed Lith to know everything about his subject's physical condition. The only way to achieve such a result was keeping physical contact, searching for pathways the mana could use to invade the other patient's body without harming them. Lith immediately used it on Tist, and his findings were appalling. Her body was full of the tar-like substance that, for a lack of better term, he had dubbed impurities. And the cause of that was her lungs. And the cause of that was her lungs. Barely half of Tista's lungs were made up of healthy tissues. The rest appeared to Lith like black-brown mass that actively produced impurities. Over time...
So basically just cancer.
Yeah, it sounds like she has cancer.
It's cancer.
She was born with cancer, guys. Lung cancer. Maybe she shouldn't have smoked as much in the womb.
Yeah.
They say smoking kills.
Imagine a little fetus in the wound with the
A pipe.
like with the 24 pack, and
Mm-hmm.
just lighting up in there. All right, you continue.
At first, the clogging only made her cough. It didn't take long for its progress for it to progress into pneumonia. Pneumonia. Pneumonia.
Uh,
Pneumonia. I know it's pneumonia.
amo- Pneumonia. Yeah,
But
I had I had dual pneumonia 4 times when I was like up until I was like 2, I think.
mhm.
3. Which also that probably slowed down. Which you know how my mom actually figured out I was like somewhere on the spectrum when she took me to a neurologist. They just couldn't tell where. Because I didn't start walking, and I was like 18 months old and still didn't start walking.
Mhm.
Or maybe it was no, it was more like 22 months and didn't start walking. I was almost 2 years old, didn't start walking.
After giving it
Yeah.
some thought, Lith was sure he had found a fix better than everything he had done before. But it was very embarrassing. What is it? I'm scared. So I'm gonna need you to strip
I'm
down.
looking
I'm not. I'm
something
not,
up.
I'm not saying that.
Reading.
No.
Just let it.
After some deep breaths to calm down. Oh wait. Even though his real age was that of a 30-year-old man, he was still in a 5-year-old body. He found it extremely uncomfortable to talk about certain matters, especially with with the women of his family.
Yeah. If you're, I'm
What
looking
is it?
something up right now. Here. Oh no, I'm just looking something up. If I have any lines to read, you're just gonna have to do your best to put on a woman's voice.
After some deep breaths to calm down, he called in Raz and Alina to ask for their help and permission. I had to dumb down the procedure quite a lot to get them to understand. I could not cure Tista, not yet, but I discovered a way that should make her feel much better. In case scenario, she should be able to get rid of most. She could even get rid of most of her symptoms. In the worst case scenario, Raz asked, full of worries. At worst, she'll remain the same, but I need you to trust me. Contrary to his expectations, they did not make any objections, nor did they ask any questions. Their trust in List's mastery of magic was boundless. In their eyes, he was just a 5-year-old, while Tista was barely 7. She had yet to mature in any way. For them, it was like yesterday when they bathed together in a washtub. The first phase was the easiest. Lith would take control of Tista's mana flow, overloading her body with his own mana. Then he would force the impurities to move away from her inner organs towards the skin. She would feel hot the whole time, as if she had a mild fever. Once most of the impurities were about to surface, Lith demanded to be blindfolded, and that either Alina or Arena witness the progress. Tista was just a kid, and Lith feared that over time, suspicion might arise. During the Earth's Middle Ages, incestuous relationships were disgustingly common, and he rejected the idea of even being thought as a pervert. One
Alright,
sec.
that's fine.
The second and last phase required Tester to be soaking in the washtub that had previously been filled by Lith with hot water and soap. He clearly remembered the stench the impurities gave off. And during the winter, ventilating the house was difficult, especially in Tista's condition. Cold was her worst enemy. Then he could finally extract the impurities by using water magic. He created manipulated flows that massaged Tista's body all over. Lith would destroy the impurities as soon as possible with dark magic, preventing them from releasing their smell. It was a difficult process that required using water and darkness magic, while keeping invigoration active. After the treatment, he would also use water magic to remove all the water still on her body. Then mix fire and wind magic to create a makeshift hair dryer. When it was finally over, Tista looked like she was back from the spa, whereas Lith looked like he had been just got in from mining. He was drenched in sweat and out of breath. How do you how do you feel? How do you feel? Tista took several deep breaths.
Alright, you want me to do it?
Yeah, but it's Tista. She's a
I
7-year-old,
never
remember.
felt so good. I never felt so good, like ever. Also, I always dreamed of having a winter bath instead of settle for a warm, water-soaked towels. Thanks, Slow Bro. You just made 2 of my wishes come true.
She tried to hug him,
good?
but he raised his arms in defense. To stroke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please, no, I'm disgusting right now. Don't ruin my hard work. I need a bath, some food, and 2 hours of rest. Minimum. Both his mother and big sister nodded.
Liv, dear, what was that thing with the water you did?
Do you mean the... Damn it, I can't... Oh, wait. Damn it, I can't... I'm gonna talk in an older voice for in his head. Damn it, I can't...
Yeah, like
I can't tell if I was intimidating a hydro massage. Imitating a hydro massage. They don't have Latin here. Nor I can call it a jacuzzi or something. Whatever, I'm too tired for more shenanigans, he thought. Water massage? Water massage?
Yes, that. It seems so relaxing. Tista had... no, that's Rena. Yes, that. It seems so relaxing. Tista had fallen asleep so many times during a treatment. It sure must be pleasant.
Where is...
And that thing... I'll just read it. Rena's words were filled with expectation. It actually says Rena words, though.
Oh no, I saw.
And and that thing for drying her hair. Could you do that again, too? Alina raised the ante, making their goal more obvious by the second. Lith was on the verge of collapsing. Sorry, go ahead.
Lith was on the verge of collapsing. He had no time to spare with niceties. Real quick. So whenever it's like this, I'll let you read it. Like if it's just part of the paragraph still, I'll let you read it, and then we'll just...
Okay. Switch.
Yeah. Are you saying that you'd like a hot water massage too? More nodding followed as Rena and Alina, their hands joined in a silent plea. But both of you are. He was trying to find a polite way to say hot. Lith could still remember Alina's naked body when she was in it, when he was an infant, and she had aged very well.
Oh, dude, come on! It's been like 5 years, man.
Here's to the 2010. Rena was now 11. Maybe it was the country lifestyle. Maybe it was related to the New World. But she had already began her growth.
Oh, dude, come on, man!
Developing some quirks. She was getting nice and soft in all the right places. That is exactly why I don't want to read when my roommate is here.
At this point, you might as well just go straight up on AO3 and find the most vile crap you can find.
Nope.
Or I can just send you my AO3 account that I don't write on anymore.
Okay, we're gonna continue. Lith already had so many qualms about giving a water massage to his sister, and Tisto was
Little
flat as
sister.
a board.
Dang, dude.
Damn.
Dang. See, all you gotta do is just not think in this way, and you're fine. You're fine, man.
Only her long hair gave her away as a girl instead of a boy. We are family.
I don't know. I've seen some boys with long hair that look like girls.
We are family.
No.
All of us have dreamed of being able to take a bath during winter without catching a cold or worse. And you have no idea how smelly. Oh, wait. That's not me.
I guess that's in there. Yeah. Well, you were doing a good woman voice. Do the woman voice.
We are family. All of us have dreamed of being able to take baths during winter without catching a cold or worse. You have no idea how smelly we become after working in the barn, surrounded by the smell of livestock and their dung. Sometimes the stench is so bad we can't even sleep at night. Couldn't you help us out too? Alina, his mother, was completely oblivious to Lith's worry and tried to play the guilt card. Lith gave up. Fine. Oh, wait. Fine.
Yeah.
Let me just rest a bit, and then I'll help you. But you still need to blindfold me, and I demand a witness. They both started laughing out loud. You're just a bit. Why worry so much? You're just a baby, not some thug.
Yeah, I guess that's him thinking.
I would like to say that I'm a gentleman, but I do not know the word for it. I could say that I'm a man, but that would only make them laugh even harder. Stupid 5-year-old body, he thought.
Decorum.
Decorum! It was the only word in his
not a
vocabulary that he could resort to. Damn it, this is gonna be a frickin' long winter. Any thoughts on that chapter other than him being an utter perv?
He's just a perv. I gotta make sure I got the song saved to my playlist.
Are you still
I do.
able
I
to
just
hear
don't
my
have it.
music?
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, you know what?
It's a jam, ain't it?
Yeah. At some points, because our music's like completely different right now, because you're listening to like newer stuff, and you're listening to stuff made within the last 20 years, and I'm listening to stuff made within the last 80 years. So, actually, more like last 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
At some points, the rhythms actually kind of like flow together.
Here, I got
It's
this.
weird.
Give me a second. What is that song called?
I'm almost like a human Shazam. I just don't get new songs very easily.
I'm so sorry, people.
Oh, did I tell you my dad got YouTube Premium and he just let me in on his family plan because he uses YouTube just to listen to music solely?
I don't know why anyone would pay for YouTube Replay Premium.
Well, my dad got it like a while ago, so Plus, YouTube's already like against ad block. They're kind of slowly but surely ruining their platform. But I haven't had to bear witness to any of that because I also watch TV on YouTube. So because through my PlayStation 4. So yeah.
There you go. Better song. Okay. Chapter 14, Conflict.
you're playing
Open
Bohemian
your
Rhapsody.
eyes, look up to the skies and
I can't.
see.
I
I'm
cannot
just
even
a
hit high
poor
notes.
boy. I need no
No,
sympathy because it's
see,
easy come,
'cause we're easy
easy
come,
go,
easy
little
go,
high,
little
little
high,
low. What's
little low.
in the
At
window
this,
doesn't
at this
really
point, we
matter
should just
for
get an AMC
me.
producer and do a full Wayne's World. Do you think you're more Mike Myers or Dana Carvey?
Don't know. Is this song out of copyright yet?
Or no, Dana?
Am
Yeah.
I about to get copyrighted for that?
I
How
think
old
if we
is this
sing
song?
it, it does. If we sing it like really crap, 1975. If we sing it like really crappily, I don't think it should be too bad. And like we talk over it.
Are you saying my singing was crap?
I'm saying my singing was crap.
Own it all away. Mama. Ooh. I'm so sorry if anyone is out there hearing this. This must be torture. This time tomorrow, carry
No,
on,
carry
carry
on,
on.
carry on.
Okay, we better
As
get to
if
reading before we lose the people we have.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for that torture. Your ears are probably bleeding now. Just email me the hospital bill at bobbytty at gmail.com at embarkmail.com.
Yeah, mine is my name is
Scam.
my name is Astley. Astley Richardson. So yeah. You know my email address. I'm never gonna give you up.
At letyoudown.com.
Yeah, I let you down.
Okay, we gotta continue.
Yeah.
As Lith predicted, his fifth winter was shaping up to be quite interesting. Treating Tista's condition could require two sessions per week minimum, each one lasting around 4 hours. He needed 2 hours for the treatment itself, while the remaining time was necessary for him to bathe and recover his strength. I'm see a little silhouette of a man. Okay. Manipulating Tista's mana flow while simultaneously using fire, water, dark magic took a toll every time. The good news was that it was so much practice. He was becoming accustomed to triple casting and maintaining active several spells at once. I'm just going to call it triple casting.
Yeah.
Because casting and maintaining active spells several at once is not grammared. He got pretty accustomed to triple casting. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Mamma mia, let me go. Every treatment was becoming easier than the previous one, and her symptoms were quickly improving. Tista was now able to help with house chores and livestock. She could even afford to take long walks on the beach. I mean, outside when the weather was good. Bad news. The bad news was that Lith's relationship with his brother was now getting uglier than it ever was before. Whenever Tista got better, someone would reproach Orpal for his previous terms.
You think what?
For his
What if we just start calling Orpal Orphan? He's acting like he's acting like he wants to be an orphan.
I mean, even orphans like Bruce Wayne were acted better than this. He just beat people.
Well, I mean, Bruce Wayne was forced to be an orphan. This guy, he's like volunteering to be an orphan.
Someone would reproach Orpal for his passwords. And if no one did, then Tista would. Wow. Orpal's fits of rage had really hurt her. His cruel words had shattered the image she had always had of her perfect family and her caring big brother.
Poor child.
Her caring big brother. Tista had been humiliated and betrayed. She was not going to forgive him easily. Soon as hot winter baths had become available, Raz had also started to bathe on. Orpal and Treon were the only ones left out. Orpal because he could not stand the thought of having to ask Leech, especially if he had to do it politely. I'm the oldest brother. I'm not supposed to make runs for favors. I'm supposed to give orders and be respected for it. The leech has now turned even that cripple against me. I can't put Tista in her place, otherwise she will make me look like I'm the bad guy who picks on the poor sick girl. Manipulative brat, he thought. Treon...
Well, his.
What?
Well, that's Orpal, but see, Orpal already is what he thinks people see him like. So.
Mm-hmm. You like my stuck up snob impression?
Yeah.
I make
just
sure
really
to like
get into that Draco Malfoy right there.
Make sure to speak through my nose almost, like, you know. Because
like Dudley Dursley.
I imagine them having like the nose is always congested, so it's like this, you know, just talking like this.
Squilliam.
Yeah.
Squilliam. William Fancy Son. Oh, that episode. Oh no, he's hot. Imagine him in his underwear, Squidward. That works. Oh no, he's hot.
Treon was stuck between a rock and a hard place. He deeply loved Tista, but also he loved and respected Orpal. Treon was the only one by his side, so he did not have the heart to betray their bond. I kind of feel bad for him. Because he grew up with the brother, so he was like, oh, okay. Looking up to him, you know. But
and
now he's
he's
the only one that's supporting him, so he can't be like, time to abandon y'all. Can't abandon him because I'd feel bad. I feel like it's almost manipulative that he's stuck with him.
Yeah.
With everyone else smelling like fish. I almost read that as smelling like fish and clams. Smelling fresh and clean. Their stench stuck out like a sore thumb. Even with all their family goodwill. Disgusted grimaces were impossible to avoid from time to time. The first time Tista dubbed the duo as Orpoop and T-Reek. Oh my god, they aren't even good insults, but just insulting them back.
Ugh.
Bow.
Wait, you remember that audio file I sent you where it's where he goes, I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me, called JG Wentworth 877 cash now?
One sec. Go.
It's in Discord somewhere. I know it's in like the main chat.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family. We're gonna end it after this chapter. It's gonna be a short one tonight.
It's still like an hour long though, so.
It's almost 2, so we're gonna only get through 4 chapters, but okay, we need to get through this because I've got a few.
Go for it.
Okay. She brought the house down with laughter. Orpal and Treon blamed Lith for their humiliation, but he just ignored them like he always did. Rez had made Lith a pair of snowshoes, spending more and more time with him. Raz had also started imparting him lessons about how to operate a farm and teaching him how to whittle. Lith was still very young, but knowing he was able to skin and gut his game, Raz thought there was no risk for him handling a carving knife. Orpal and Treon viewed the situation differently, though. Until then, Lith had spent most of his time with the girls, letting Raz spend all of his free times with the boys. They felt wronged twice. Once because Lith was robbing them of their dad time. The second, Raz had always refused to teach them whittling before they reached the age of 8. Things had gotten even more unpleasant for Lith after the midwinter. Even after he treated Tista, he would notice that something was off. Both of his mother and older sister had an odd look in their eyes. Often they would open their mouths only to close them right away, giving him the silent treatment for hours. Lith couldn't figure out the reason for their behavior, so his mind started spinning like crazy. Do they believe me a pervert? Have I looked at them in an inappropriate way? Maybe they're starting to suspect something. Maybe they know I'm from a different world, he thought. Lith's full-blown paranoia. What?
I mean, he did like come back. He did like die and come back to life. So I mean, like the body did.
But who knows? Maybe it was just an incorrect spell readment or something. Lith's full-blown paranoia would give him a second of rest, preventing him from even a good night's rest. He also heard them sighing quite often. Something was definitely off. It took all the courage Lith could muster to face them and ask for the truth. The confrontation took place in the girls' room. They were all gathered there for Tista's treatment.
Lith, did you really not notice any changes?
Elena asked, pouting. Yes, I did. Tista's feeling much better now, right?
Of course, there's that, but you didn't notice anything here?
She waved her hand, going from Tista's head to toe. That's my sister.
And?
Her health is getting better. Nothing is getting worse. Tista is still Tista. For the first time in all his 3 lives, Lith had the opportunity to see with his own eyes a synchronized face palm outside of the internet meme gifs. Rena was fuming.
Really? Really? Don't you notice that her hair is soft and silky? That it never tangles nor she gets split ends?
Tista had light brown hairs with shades of purple all over them. Ever since the beginning of the treatment, the color had become more vibrant. Shades of purple? This really is another world after all. I wonder why women have them and men do not. Lith thought. Now that you mention it, yes I do. But normally I don't care for hand. I keep mine short for a reason. Oh wait.
No, that was
Rena.
No, that's him.
Rena shook her head.
Don't you even notice that? No, I think that was Lith. Like, oh yeah, now that you mention it, yeah, I do see it.
She's young. Remember that when you read.
Yeah. Well, actually, she's like 11.
Yeah. So she'll sound more like
don't
this.
You know? Don't you even notice that her skin has become smoother with no imperfections? That she's growing taller and even more slender than her peers? Or maybe it's just puberty. You ever thought about that?
Lith kept scratching his head. He knew nothing about the average girl. Also, they were simply describing the side effects of removing impurity. Why? Are those a problem? Aren't those all good things? This time, Tista joined the FaceTime.
There.
This is Tista.
They're envious of those things, dummy! They just want you to do the same thing for them.
Lith was flabbergasted by such trivial demands. All those grimaces and silent treatments, all of it for such a stupid reason.
That's dear. Being attractive for a girl is a pretty big deal. For your sisters, it can mean having the possibility of choosing between merely a wealthy man or a good and wealthy man. It can affect their entire life and their happiness. You know, I wouldn't know
From a
because
poor family.
I got like what do you call? I wouldn't know because every time I freaking post a selfie, it's like I've gotten people go like, "Oh, hey, you're hot." I don't really see it, but
That sounded right to Lith's ears. How could I not? How could I not have thought of that?
well for for your poor mother, it means that she can finally make all those pompous, high, and mighty neighbors to her who keep bragging about having so much more money than me and flaunting all of their pricey beauty creams kick themselves out of envy. Okay, maybe
That
I was a little
sounded
strong on that.
right to Lith's ears, too. He accepted it with a sigh, and his life finally returned to normal. He had to spend at least 3 afternoons a week for all of the treatments, but it was worth it. All that practice made his mana core grow steadily and fast. His control of mana and casting speed improved by leaps and bounds. Right before the end of winter, he was forced to take on a new customer. With the weather improving, the neighbors' families started meeting often, sometimes for a visit. More often, they would simply bump into each other while trading goods at the village. And that was driving Raz crazy. Lith, you have to help me. His plea was desperate. Your mother looks at least 10 years younger than me. And I'm starting to look
I'm
more like
sorry.
her father than her husband. People
I
keep
mean,
murmuring.
some women are into that.
People keep murmuring about how she's unfortunate to marry me, and could have gotten so much better than she could have gotten so much better than me. Please do your thing on me too. I want to check something. Oh, that's a lot.
Lith had heard the rumors.
Lith had heard the rumors. They were so mean and petty. Still, people deserve to be faced head on. He would not allow anyone to speak ill of his dad. Fine, but with some conditions. All the same, I'm asking for Mom. One, secrecy. No one must ever know about it except for you and me. Think of all the bad people that could want to exploit me. Raz nodded. Second, you will never talk about it with Orpal or Treon, nor ask me to do it for them. I don't care if they fall in love, want to marry. They made it pretty clear when what they feel towards me and Tista. I would not endanger my safety for them. Take it or leave it. Raz wanted to object and remind Lith that they were family too. However, their behavior had only gotten worse after being forced to spend so much time together during the winter. Riz had, Ra- Riz had, Riz, Riz had to
Riz!
Raz had to scold them multiple times just to make them behave properly. I hope that when all my sons grow up, they will be able to make amends in their relationships. I could not force them to get along, though, Raz thought. And so he accepted. A few weeks later, Lith was headed to Celia's house for the usual cleaning before going hunting. The, the dawn's light made the world around him look like it was out of a fairy tale. The thin layer of snow was min-
Immaculate. Why are you saying it
immaculate,
so fancily?
immaculate,
Emasculate.
emasculate, immaculate,
Immaculate.
reflecting the orange light all over the weeds and the trees along the way. His surroundings were completely silent. The world was still and at peace. At the next clearing, Lith took the magic stone out of his pouch, observing it in the morning light. During the winter months, the magic stone had mended most of the teeth marks, but its life force and mana flow had tremendously improved. But it was still useless as the day Lith found it.
So it's a rock. It's useless as a rock.
Just
Or it's
my
as
luck.
useless as a rock.
Just my luck, he sighed. I risked my life for that facing that rye for nothing. Let's hope I can find something in Donna's books. Otherwise, my only option will be finding someone willing to buy it. Lith was really impatient to start his apprenticeship. It meant finally being able to study magic from the books instead of being self-taught. Also, as an apprentice healer, he would get to practice magic and be paid for it. He would also gain the village's recognition and respect. Also, gaining the village's recognition and respect. I just read that. So many birds with one stone. After putting the magic stone back into the pouch, Lith arrived at his destination and opened the door. That day, Celia was out of town selling her merchandise. So she had left the door open for him. It did not take much time for him to clean everything and leave. As soon as he walked out of the house, he got hit in the head with a wooden stick. Whack! I don't know. Oh god, I did a thing.
Nope. I see.
Lith's eyes went blurry. Flashbang! Ow! My eyes! Ow! Oh god!
It's like scrolling on Instagram, and you find someone that checks out all their posts in light mode.
Yep.
Who uses light mode anymore?
Lith's eyes went blurry. He felt someone push him back inside, making him fall to the ground with a kick to the stomach. Look who's here, the little leech. Lith recognized that voice. He was one of Orpal's friends. 4 boys quickly surrounded Lith, kicking him while he was still down, while a 5th closed the door, after checking no one had noticed him. You arrogant piece of crap, Orpal told us about you. How you humiliate him every day. How you even dare steal his food. Yeah! Another one yelled, he's your big brother. It should be him getting the best part of the game, not you, you ungrateful little runt. Less yelling and more kicking. Trant, remember, Orpal's words. If Leech gets a chance to use his magic, we're finished. Despite how Lith curled up, desperately trying to shield his head and stomach, another kick grazed his face, making one of his baby teeth stand out. I know what to do. Trant moved forward, gripping Lith's hand with enough strength to crush him. Let's see how he does magic without his hands. Oh my god, I hate myself for that. His hands.
His hands.
By coming that close, Trant had forced his friends to stop kicking, and that was a moment was all Lith needed. He released all the lightning
He could muster.
All the lightning he could muster, shocking Trant. Unfortunately, before he could do anything else, the wooden stick hit him in the head, making him collapse. You rude head.
String cheese.
You string cheese, how dare you hurt your senior? You deserve to die.
Oh
The
god.
beating resumed, this time with no hint of mercy or any attempt to hold back. List started coughing out blood and teeth. The four of him had him surrounded. Lift tried
The
multiple
four had
times to roll out of the encirclement,
him.
but he was forced back into the middle every single time. Lots of feelings were raging through his mind, while his body was burning in pain.
They're beating up a 6-year-old. What the fuck? Dude,
The
I mean, what the
spite
what what
for
the
his
what
the
the
spite for his
5
brother's
guy?
betrayal, the rage of being assaulted by boys who were twice his age and size. But most of all, he felt helpless and afraid of his death. Damn, Magic! What use are you if you don't have time to concentrate? Stupid stone, I kept hanging on to you from my neck for months. Do something. Help me. Anybody, help me. While his consciousness was fading, all his silent pleas went unfulfilled. While his consciousness was fading, Bliss started cursing himself for his weakness and helplessness. Magic, martial arts, all of that careful preparation, 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 preparation. Do you know how to say that word?
Where? Okay, wait. Put your put your cursor under it. Preparation.
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 Useless. Oddly, his last thoughts was not for his family or his revenge, but his last opponent. If only I was as strong as the Rye. He stopped my spirit magic so easily. By his magical survival instinct kicked in. His mind and body were acting in unison. By infusing himself with mana, I can do that too. I use the same principle behind life and fire vision, he thought. With each breath, he called upon elemental energy, but instead of wasting time giving it form, he let it merge directly with his monocore and infuse himself with earth magic. His whole body started to harden. The pain to get duller and duller. Lith also infused himself with light magic. Infusing it accelerated his healing and prevented him from losing consciousness. Soon he was able to ignore the kicking and spring back up with a kip up. With a I don't know. What on earth? This is just mixing minerals in organic matter. The same as my body. I can be immovable like a mountain. Oh wait, I can be immovable like a mountain. With that thought, he further hardened his head before driving his head up from below into the chin of the assailant in front of him. Before the remaining three could recover from the surprise and resume the breeding, Lith raised his god. His left arm forward for blocking while his right arm was ready to strike. Warple's friends were scared. After Lith knocked down their leader with a head strike, the only thing on their mind was to prevent him from using magic. So they rushed forward, not giving him any time to recover. The closest assailant tried to punch Lith in the face to disrupt any casting he could attempt. 90% of the human body is made of water. I can be formless like... Oh, wait. 90% of the human body is water. I can be formless like water. What? 60%? I'm so sorry. I can't read numbers. I might have
I'm a little.
dyslexia.
I'm 6.
I'm
I'm a 6-year-old.
Lith's left arm, imbued with water magic, coiled up around his opponent's right arm like a snake. Body burns calories to produce heat and energy. I can be destructive like fire. Fire magic burned through his muscle, granting Lith short bursts of explosive strength. By flexing his left arm, Lith broke the immobilized limbs in 3 points. The boy's elbows, unula, and radius shattered, while Lith's right fist hit the opponent in the nose, pulverizing it. The pain made the boy faint, his nose bleeding profusely. The remaining 2 fell into a panic and tried to run away. Nerves, synapses, all the information and orders in the body are transmitted via electrical impulses. I can be fast like lightning. Lith imbued his whole body with air magic, becoming fast enough to blink in front of them, punching both of them in the gonads in their cookies at the same time. All of his opponents were down, sobbing in pain or fainted. Lith spat out a mouthful of blood while contemplating the results of his last experiment. It seems that this new magic puts too much strain on my body. Maybe I'm too young, or maybe I took too much damage. Whatever. I have all the time in the world now. I need to decide what to do with you brats, Lith said, while focusing on using light magic to heal his internal injuries. It may take a while, but you'll get my undivided attention and enjoy your stay. Lith sat on the couch with his left hand on his chest, using healing magic on himself. His right hand was open in front of him, releasing 5 streams of lightning that enveloped the 5 boys like rooting tendrils, making them scream in agony.
No.
Okay, guys, that is going to be it for today. I'm so sorry we're 1 chapter short today, but I've got a few things to do, so I will see y'all next time.